We're going to look at using the hole tool here in Fusion 360. So the first thing I'm going to do is in my design, I'm going to create a sketch. And then I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and we are going to be creating a block to put our different hole types in. And so for the width of that block, I'm just going to make it 6 inches. And the height of the block, actually we'll make this the depth. So the depth of the block, I'm going to make 2 inches. We'll then extrude the height up with our block, and so I'm going to extrude that up at 3 inches. And we will create the different types of holes using this block. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do to create holes within this is to create the center points for those holes. And so I'm going to do that with a sketch. So I'll click the sketch tool and I'm going to create a sketch on the top surface of our block. I'll then come under the sketching tools and I will go ahead and select point. If I come to the edge of my drawing, remember when I get that little triangle shape, that means midpoint. And so that's the exact center in the depth dimension of our part. And so I can then simply come out and place those 4 holes on the midpoint in the depth dimension of our block. The next thing that I'm going to do is dimension the location of those holes in the width dimension. So they're located already through a geometric constraint at the middle of the depth dimension. We're going to make sure that they are dimensioned in the width dimension now. So I'll go ahead and grab the sketch dimension tool and I will click the 2 points to put in the dimension. And I'm going to make these 1.2 inches apart. All right, and so that locates those center points for the holes that we're going to use within the width dimension of our part. After I finish that sketch, I will go ahead and I'm going to put this in our home view, which is an isometric view of the block so we can see it a little better. Then I can come up here under my tools, under my solid tools and click hole. I can then click on the point where I want to add that hole. All right, and then all of our hole tool options come up. This first hole, we're just going to make it a simple hole that goes through the object. Let's give it a diameter of 500 thousandths or a half inch. So I'll go ahead and make that 0.5. The extent is the other part that we're going to be concerned with. And so if it's a through hole that goes all the way through the part, we can just say we want it to go all. And then however we change this block, the hole will continue to go through it. All right. So for instance, if I put a distance here and I said, okay, we're just going to make it 3 inches, it goes through the entire block because that is the size of the block. And then we decided that we needed to change this extrusion and we needed to edit it. And it was actually, instead of being 3 inches, it was 6 inches tall. Notice how the hole doesn't go through anymore because of how we've defined that hole. All right, so I'm going to right click on the feature again and make it, actually let's just do it with the hole. I'll come over here and right click on the hole and I'll edit the hole feature. And instead of making the extent a distance, I'll just say all. And now it will go through, you know, the entire block, which is what we want it to do. I'll now edit the feature of the extrusion back to 3 inches like I wanted it. All right, now we need to make the other holes in our block. So we're going to make 3 more holes. If you notice, we can't see the sketch anymore. So by default within Fusion, if you utilize a sketch, it automatically turns the visibility of that sketch off. And so I can come back into here in my sketches in my browser and click on the little eye tool, and I can see those points again where we're going to add our other hole. So I'll turn the visibility on for our sketch that has the points, and I'll go ahead and click to place our second hole. This second hole, we're going to give a diameter of 375 thousandths or 3/8 of an inch. And instead of this just being a simple hole, we're going to make this one have a counter bore. So I'll go ahead and click the counter bore button. Now all of the variables pop up for our counter bore now. So our counter bore diameter is going to be the next thing that we want to look at. So that's this dimension right here. We are going to make that 750 thousandths or 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to give the counter bore depth we're going to make that 250 thousandths or 1/4 of an inch. And so you can see how that has worked. We've applied all the constraints. The last thing we need to do is choose the depth of this. This one we're not going to have go through the entire block, so I'm going to use the depth of hole, and I'm going to change this dimension. Right now, it's at 3 inches. Let's make it 2 inches. All right, and so I'll go ahead and click OK, and we can see that our hole has been applied. In this case, it's a blind hole. I'll go ahead and click the hole tool again to make our next hole. This hole is going to have is going to be a countersink hole, so I'm going to go ahead and click the hole type, the third option here. We're going to make the hole diameter be 250 thousandths or 1/4 of an inch. We will make the depth of the hole. So the depth of the hole here, we're going to make it 2 1/4 or 2 inches and 250 thousandths. The countersink diameter, we're going to make 1 inch. So that's this diameter here. I'll change that to 1 inch. And then the angle we'll leave at 82 degrees. And so I can go ahead and click OK, and it puts our countersink hole into our part. We'll make one last hole here. I'll go ahead and click the hole tool, click on my fourth point. This one is going to be another counter bore hole. So I'll click on the counter bore. Our hole is going to have a diameter of 1/2 inch. So I'll go ahead and make that 500 thousandths. The counter bore diameter is going to be 750 thousandths, which is already set at, so we can leave that. The counter bore depth in this case, we're going to make 625 thousandths, or 5/8 of an inch. And then we're going to make the hole go through all. So we're going to make the hole actually go through all for this one. And then I can go ahead and click OK to apply that hole. And I can come up here to my view cube and see how that's been applied. All right, the last thing I'll do here with our part model, I'll go ahead and change this so that the sketch is not visible anymore, so we can get rid of looking at those points.
Pardon the interruption, teachers.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and make a drawing for our block part. So I'll go ahead and under design, I'll click on drawing from design. I'll have to save this part, so I'm going to save it with the name that I want to use for this. Save that. And then we can also go ahead and create a new drawing from our CTE template. So I'll do that. And then it looks like I'm going to create this drawing at half scale will be good. And we're going to be creating what's called a sectional view for this part. So instead of the front orientation, I'm going to choose the top orientation. And so I'll place that top view within my part and go ahead and click OK. From there, we're going to create, like I said, a sectional view. So I'll click the sectional view tool. I'll click on this top view because that's where we want the sectional view to be. And then I'm going to come over here under the arrow with the create drawing, and I'm going to click sectional view. I'll choose the view, and then I'm going to click at the midpoint of this, and I'll actually I won't click, I'll hover over the triangle, and I'm going to come out a little bit off the drawing and click, and that's going to be the start of my sectional view. And if you get that little midpoint triangle again, remember that that will allow your part to, this line to snap directly to the middle of your part. So I'll go ahead and click to end that somewhere outside of the object, and then I can come down here and click to place the sectional view. And so what the sectional view has done, it's created a view for us that shows what the inside of the part looks like. So we can see the details of these holes a little better. And so with this sectional view, you might have to figure out how to arrange it a little better. So you can just simply click on the view and drag it so it's arranged. You can also click on the notation that shows it's a sectional view and arrange that. We'll actually go ahead and dimension this drawing as well. So the first thing I want to do anytime I have a hole in a drawing is I want to put center points in for those holes. And so over here under our geometry tab, I'm going to click the center point tool, and then I'll just click on all of the holes and it will apply a center point for me. The next thing we'll do is go ahead and dimension the part. And so I will start with the height dimension. So this is the height of our object. It's located in our front view. I can come into that and just click on one point and click on the other, and I can drag the dimension out. You can see now that this is set up to not show trailing zeros. And I think we're going to do that for this part. So I'm going to come over here to the sheet settings, the document settings, and click the little triangle to pop the settings open. And for leading trailing zeros, I'm going to go ahead and change that and put a check mark by it. So we'll display trailing zeros, and I'm going to say change our linear precision to the 1,000th of an inch or 3 decimal places. So I'll go ahead and click that, and then it will change our dimension to how we want it to look there. The next thing I'm going to do is work from left to right and apply the location dimensions for our holes. And so I'll do that in the top view because it's the view that shows our holes as a circle. So I can come in here and just click from center to center on these holes. Notice that this one doesn't necessarily fit in there very well. So there's a few things I can do here. Because all of these holes are the same, I can add a note for this. So over here at the front, I'm just going to put TYP, and that means that these holes from center to center are all the same. And so we won't worry about dimensioning the rest of the centers. I'll then go ahead and come down here and I'll apply the overall width dimension. From here to here is 6. Then I will put some depth dimensions in. So I'll put a depth dimension in to the center of the location in the depth, and then our overall depth, I will put a dimension in. The last thing we need to do is put in our hole notes for the holes. And so if I come over here under text, I can see hole and thread note. I can come into that then, and I can click on the hole and come out here, and if I specify an endpoint for where I want that to be displayed, it will show me the call out for that hole. And so again, we don't want things to overlap, and we want our sheet to look nice and neat. So you might have to rearrange things a little bit to kind of keep them up, so everything's nice and neat on your sheet. And so I'll do that here quickly. I'll edit some of this to make this look a little nicer. And we can just continue to do that for all of the holes. So again, the nice thing about this is it includes the entire thread note for that specific hole. And it does that because we use the hole tool to create that note when we created the part. So you can kind of fiddle with this and make these whole notes readable. I'll go ahead and put in the last two here really quickly. If you're having trouble like fitting everything, this actually could be a reason why you might want to actually not display trailing zeros, because it'll make your text smaller. And so that's something you can do as a trick if you're having trouble making everything fit, because it should be nice and neat. Remember, this is a means of communication. So you're communicating some design intent to someone. So you want to make sure that your drawing is clean and neat, so it's very easily understandable. All right, so that takes care of all the dimensioning for this. I'm going to show you one more thing. Last thing here, if I come into one of these holes and let's say we want to edit it. So let's edit this fourth hole. So I'm going to right click on it and edit that. Let's say that this hole has threads. So it's a tap hole. So we have some different options under hole tap. Notice that I can go ahead and click that and it'll bring up a dialog box and give me a designation. And so this is a 1/2 inch hole. So I can choose the thread designation that I want. So a 1/2 inch 13 threads per inch. I can go ahead and say that. I can tell it the direction of the thread that I want. So all of that is very valuable information that you can use to create different types of holes. I'll actually go ahead and save that and then go back into my drawing sheet, and I can click this little reference to update it. And now you can see that it's added the hole note that specifically identifies the thread type for that hole. All right, so that's how you use the hole tool in Fusion 360.